So today we are discussing the unit VU 21992, develop a cybersecurity industrial project assessments. So we are discussing the assessments for this unit and what we need to do. So today is the end of the delivery. So you calculate 8 weeks from now for the deadline. So you calculate 8 weeks from now for the deadline. So for these assessments, I need you to submit these assessments before the end of May. Okay, before the end of May, you need to submit the assessments. When you go to your Connect and log in there, you will go to content, and please give me your attention. If you have any question, feel free to put that on the chat. I'll get back to you as soon as possible once I'm done with the recording. So when you go to content, you have the overview here. And there is something very important I need to highlight here. Overview will give you, of course, overview about the unit. And these are the assessments. We have 4 assessments for this unit. Then we have this document, which you can download or review. So you see here the due dates for these assessments will be 8 weeks from today. So first assessment, it's about developing a project plan, then development of incident response team, then evaluation and testing for the incident response team. Then 4th assessment will be about project reporting. So I need you to create reports. So here on the left hand in this table, you will find decisions, topics covered, and the topics we discussed, in addition to links. So the most important thing I'm highlighting here are the links to different resources. So these links created by multiple teachers. So if any of these links is not working, it's fine, no problem at all. Some sites goes down, some new sites created online. So feel free to search online, and it's part of your skills, or the skills you need to acquire during this course is researching online, finding information, updating your knowledge. So some of these links maybe will take you to Office or Windows 7. It's fine. We have now Windows 11. So try Windows 7, try Windows 10, try with Windows 11, and so forth. So don't limit yourself to the resources we are sharing as teachers. You need to expand, you need to update. You are the person who's going to the market and finding a job. So you need to acquire this skill, the mentality of finding resources, finding information, keeping yourself up to date. The cybersecurity is a very dynamic field. So it's really important to read and try new things, new technologies, new methods, new ways. When you scroll down, you'll find also some links for additional readings, some links for the assessments. I mean, documents and resources. You will need to go through them to be able to answer and finish your assessment. So it's really important that you download this document and start going through different links. Again, if any of the links are not working, it's fine. Search for the resource and you can update the link to yourself, no problem. Share that on Discord, our chat server, so everyone can make use of that. So this is what we do as one family here. We share resources on Discord and on other platforms also, even on Connect itself in the Course Hub. If you don't remember Course Hub, it's one of the units you have. It's called Course Hub, and we share information there, also essential knowledge there. Good. So the first thing we needed to highlight is the overview and the links there to different documentation, videos, white papers, articles that will help you with your assessment. Then on the left hand, you will find, of course, learning resources. These are the resources we went through in the past few weeks, and maybe not maybe, for sure we added more there. Down there also we have supplementary resources. It's a good idea. It's actually mandatory that you go to the supplementary resources. You will find lots and lots of documentation about, for example, PFSense. So this is the ISO file for the PFSense. If this one is an older version, okay, get the new one. So if this is 2.4.5, search for the new one and download the new one. Don't download this one. This one is about Security Onion. Go through it. SANS and NIST. These books are, or small documents here, small booklets. They are very, very useful and helpful. You will find many jobs requiring that working as a security officer, you need to be familiar with SANS and NIST. So it's a good idea to read these, summarize them, use them in your project in a way that we will clarify later. Add them to your CV that you are familiar with their content. It will help you to get a job. So not only for your understanding and knowledge and qualification, it's also for your career. Some documentation about Linux, some documentation about incident response, forensic techniques, cyber exercise playbook, and other things. So under supplementary material or resources, we have 39 different resources available for you to improve your knowledge. Now we'll go to the assessment link and we'll take it one by one. Then I'm recording this video. I will upload the video at a later stage. It will be available here after we finish, so you can refer to this recording. So assessment task 1 and assessment task 1 marking criteria. In the marking criteria, this is what we as assessors, what we check there, how we mark your assessment, what is really required from you as a student submitting your assessment. So it is there for you to read, review, and understand. Here, this is the portfolio of evidence, assessment task 1. So we will go through this document together. So in here, you will put your name, student number. You fill the data that you know. For example, assessor name, this is my name. If you don't know my name till today, this is a big problem. So you will put your name there and signature. You can insert your signature from a scanned document or take a photo with your phone, insert it here, or even just type your name there. You will download this document, edit, put this document in a folder with all other documents, zip the folder and send as one assessment. So for assessment task, one file for this assessment. So assessment task 1, collect everything in one folder, zip it and upload, and do the same for any assessment for any unit. So here in assessment task 1, we will plan for having an exercise for the incident response team. So what is the objective? Objective here is to demonstrate that you have these skills and knowledge to create and implement a project statement of work and communication plan. So here, I want you to understand and give me your full attention. I want you to understand what is required from you. If I'm telling you here, create and implement, these are two things, two different things. You will create first, then you will implement. Okay, so project statement of work and communication plan. So I need two documentation here, or two documents. Then you will use them, implement them, you will use them. If we are implementing something technical, this means we need to use a computer or a device and configure this computer or device. Could be virtual or physical, either one, tangible or intangible. So this is a team assessment and will be conducted during class time. This is when it's designed before few years ago. So we are tweaking that because of COVID and the other things. So you will do that in your own time, not in class time. So the team will be required to keep minutes of all meetings. So these minutes of meetings, you will submit them with all other documentation. So you will work in teams here. So any meeting with the stakeholder, project sponsor will be submitted. Okay. Assessment criteria here. So you need to, as mentioned, you keep meeting minutes with the stakeholders, project sponsors, and you submit that with the final project documentation. We need, so first thing, I need the meeting minutes. This is first thing. Second, I need a statement of work. Not more than 10 pages. Statement of work, not more than 10 pages. This is from the whole team, okay? At least 3 project objectives identified, so we need that. Project scope documentation, so what will be included in this project? At least 3 major deliverables documented. So if my project is building a house, so the base for the house is 1 major deliverable, the walls is the second major deliverable, then the ceiling is the third major deliverable. So we need you to at least, this means you can have 4 or 5 major deliverables documented. List of tasks that are required to complete these deliverables. So if I need to deliver the network, what are the tasks? I need servers, I need cables, I need to implement them, install them, configure them. So list the tasks that required to complete these deliverables. And in other words, we call this one WBS, which is work breakdown structure. If you don't remember what is work breakdown structure or what is this statement of work, please refer to the previous session recording, because we explained that during the past weeks. We explained that in different situations. So please review the either the PowerPoint or documents or even the videos. So you will list the tasks in WBS. I need a timeline Gantt chart from it's developed. So we need to have a Gantt chart. How you create this Gantt chart, it's your choice. You can use Excel, you can use Microsoft Project, you can use something online, you can draw it with pencil and paper, it's up to you. But I want to have a Gantt chart, proper one. It's impossible to use pencil and paper, but with the technology we have, and we are in cybersecurity. So I need this timeline to show milestones and a date for each milestone. Okay, I need communication plan. Yes, correct, Ryan. Gantt chart is drawing, shows start and end times of aspects of a project, end times of each task of the project, and we have the task list on the left. Okay. We created and discussed Gantt chart together multiple times, so it looks like something like that. Okay, so you have on the left groups, then we have the tasks. So you have like deliverables, tasks, and on the right, start, end, then the chart. This is the Gantt chart. Okay, thank you for your question, Ryan. So we need the Gantt chart. We need communication plan. What is the communication plan? I will send reporting every week to someone. I'm getting reporting from or different reports from my teams every day. These are the communication plan. So we need that. Statement of purpose, approach, communication goals, and objectives. Stakeholder identification and analysis. Who is involved there? Communication roles. Who will do what? So I will send the emails. Who is in the team will send these emails and when? Someone will deliver presentations. Who is this person and when you will deliver this presentation and to whom? If you are sending emails, to whom also? So communication tools and methods. So you need some templates, schedules, and communication plan approval. Okay, so this part, it's for the assessor. This is for me, don't worry about that. So yes, we provided that. This is my marking criteria and submission details. I just discussed that. So instructions. So in the sections below are the details of the report, major assignments, work plan, reflection, portfolio, or other items this assessment task requires, as well as the criteria for satisfactory completion. So we have scenario here, and the scenario is located in this document, our IRTX project scenario PDF, and it's located on Connect under supplementary resources. So in the part one, we need to establish project team. So you need the team, you need to assign tasks, roles, responsibilities. So, and how we can measure the team performance. For example, we had teams, and these teams, some members, they are absent. So this affects the team, or they are late in finishing their tasks. So their performance is not that good, but you need to measure what we mean by good or bad. So you need to measure attendance, you need to measure finishing tasks on time, you need to measure reliability. So you are to submit a briefing report that addresses the following points. Team members for the project are selected, individual responsibilities also are assigned, criteria for evaluating team performance is defined. Now, the question is, how many members per team? Teams are to consist of between 4 and 6 members. Then you elect leader and assistant leader, like scouts. Okay, if someone here was in scouts, we have the patrol, then we have patrol leader and assistant patrol leader. So the patrol consists of 6 people, then they elect patrol leader, then the patrol leader will select the assistant patrol leader. Why we need assistant? If the patrol leader is sick, absent, busy, so the assistant will lead the team. So we keep the work going. Okay, continuing. So I prefer to have 6 because this will reduce the total number of teams. And this will reduce the number to 10 because we have 60 students. So it will be the number of teams will be 10 instead of 15. So this means more control from my side, less management overheads and headache and everything. So each team should have a leader. Then this leader can decide on something if you don't agree on something, so he or she can decide. We need briefing report is to contain the following points: name of each member and the role within the project that the member has been assigned. Project sponsor, this is me. Project manager, this is me. So you need a project lead. So the leader of your team will be the project lead. Project team members, so should be assigned a role. So someone responsible for financial management, someone is responsible for communication management, and so forth. You can assign one by one. And also you can have 2 doing same role. So we need someone responsible for communication. We can get this person and us also someone else to help or as a redundancy. Contingency planning. So roles would include quality assurance lead, communication lead. So the financial example, I just used that for example. For the task, you need quality assurance lead and communications lead. This person could lead a team or work individually. Define criteria to evaluate team performance. So if I'm telling you I'm not happy with your performance, you need to tell me, what do you mean? What is the thing you are not happy with? Is it my attitude? Am I coming late? Am I not attending meetings? Stuff like that. So no less than 4 metrics criteria identified. So we need 4 or more criteria to measure the performance of team members. We sit together, we meet, we agree on that, we come up with ideas and we create everything together. Please, there is one very important aspect you need to understand here. Please give me your full attention. Leave everything and give me your full attention. These teams, they are integrated together. We are not competing with anyone. There is no competition here. So the team, for example, managed by Alan, is not competing with the team managed by Connor. It is not competing with the team managed by Julian. No, there is no competition here. We are helping each other. Okay, I want you all to pass. I don't want to fail anyone. No competition, no money involved, no promotions, nothing, no chocolate, nothing is there, just marks. So I want you all to get the marks. And this will happen if we all help each other. I don't want this feeling of competition, or we are hiding something and we are competing with the other team. We are trying to steal resources. No, 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 we don't have that. This is in real life, yes. But here we are helping each other. So we have Discord as the chat platform. Use this one to share information. You are all adults here, so you can manage teams yourself. I don't want to get involved in that. I'm giving you full flexibility here to choose the teams. I prefer mixtures of different ages, backgrounds, gender, anything. I prefer that because this will enrich the whole experience. But at the same time, it's up to you. Okay, you prefer to have people from Cairns? Okay, fine. For meeting purposes, okay, we are living near each other in the same suburb, we go to the same Woolies together, it's fine. Okay, up to you. We are supporting the same sports team, also it's fine. But again, I want you all, the 60 students, they discuss things on Discord and we achieve results here. So we need to evaluate the criteria to evaluate team performance. The team performance, not individual performance. So at least 4 metrics. Form created using metric criteria identified has scaling or other rating system. So you rate your team. Minutes of meeting submitted. That also keep all the minutes for inclusion in final report. Keep a copy of everything on the cloud, in a memory stick, something. I prefer to have 2-3 copies of your work. So that was part 1. Part 2, create initial statement of work for authorization. So for this task, the project team is to develop a statement of work. The statement of work is to include the following: project objectives, project scope, measure deliverables, tasks that support the deliverables, and which party will complete them, timeline for completion of work, sign off for authorization to proceed, communication plan, and more details in task 3. If you forget something here, you don't pass the whole unit. Unfortunately, this is the system we are using. In TAFE, there is nothing called 99% passing score. Either you get 100 or 0. So 100% or 0%. If you forget project scope, which could be 1 line, you don't pass the unit. Or you don't pass your first attempt, so you need to submit again. And this is time waste for everyone. All of my previous students, they pass from the first time. Why? Because they follow the steps correctly and they submit everything required. If you forget something, fine. Before submission, review. That's why you have a team, or even yourself, review your work. You have the recording videos. You can refer to that. You have this document there. It's the document you are going to submit in front of you here. So in this document, everything is listed. You have the marking criteria also helping you. So done here. Okay. Who does the sign off or the sign off of authorization? Your project lead on my behalf. Then submit. Okay. Thank you for this question, Ryan. Marking criteria, statement of work is not to be more than 10 pages. If you submitted 11, you fail. If you submitted 5, fine. 9, fine. 10, fine. 11, fail. At least 3 project objectives identified. If you submitted 2, fail. 3, okay. 4.9. What is that? Is that your software version, something? Julian, naughty boy. No, I will not read the 10. I will count, then scan. Okay. No, I'm not reading 11. Yeah. Small font, 8 size font. Yeah. I will collect all these documents and create a new novel about project management. The new book of project management created by students in Queensland North. Yes, Jeff, I know. That's why I don't read your emails. Believe me, when I see an email more than 3 lines, 5 lines, it's really hard to go through that. Or I don't go through that unless it's from my direct manager and it's for my name and saying it's important and please respond as soon as possible. So I will read it one by one, word by word. Okay. So at least 3 major deliverables documented. So please, 3 or more means 4 or 5. If 2, you fail. List of tasks that are required to complete deliverables. So we need that. The WBS identified. Forgive me if I'm using sometimes these words, you fail and you don't pass and all these things. We just need to set the rules here. I know all of you are really committed, clever, brilliant participants, and I'm really proud of every one of you. At the same time, we have rules and regulations. So I have rules and regulations, you have rules and regulations. I need to start my work on specific time, finish on specific time. I need to wear uniform. I need to have police clearance. I need to attend conferences, trainings. I need to get vaccinated before going to campus. All these things, it's for protecting ourselves and our environment. So we need timeline. We need communication plan. Part 3, create the project communication plan, and you can use template or you can develop your own. It's up to you. You can even modify the template. And the marking criteria here, we need to have statement of purpose, approach, communications goals and objectives, stakeholder identification and analysis, communication roles. So I'm sending email every week to the financial manager, telling them about the expenditure of the budget. Who is sending that? Jeff, for example, because he will create one email, 100 pages email. So he will bombard the financial manager with all these lengthy emails because financial manager giving us hard time approving the budget. Okay, so Jeff is responsible for any email going to the financial management and the other stakeholders. But Julian, he will deliver presentations in front of everyone because he likes to work behind the scene and he doesn't want to show himself, but we want to encourage him to do public speaking, so he will do the presentations. Okay, yes, Julian not happy, but sorry, Julian, we have to push you to the water so you can learn how to swim. So yes, we do that. We do that in real life, we do that. Okay. Communication tools and methods. Tools such as templates, schedules are to be included. The following are examples. Again, these are examples that should be included. So they are examples, but should be included. This means you will add more. No, Julian, you are not sending emails. Julian, you are presenting. It's not me. Your team lead will decide on that. Jeff is sending emails. Julian will present. Then the next cycle, Julian will send the emails and Jeff will present. Anyway, I'm just yeah, I'm just kidding here, but I'm serious at the same time. So okay, who is chairing the meeting? Each team member is to chair at least one meeting. You see, we do job rotation. So if you elected Demi one day to be the chair, she can't be in the next meeting, the chair. We need to get someone else. So we all know how to chair meetings. We rotate jobs, okay? Who is minuting the meeting? Each team member to minute at least one meeting. So you need to take minutes or record that. But if you are recording videos or voice, you need to take permission from everyone. Some people, they don't like, for privacy or any reason, they don't like that. So you need to tell everyone that you are recording. So again, you can use video, audio, or write. You'll ask them at the end. I have, okay. Should we disconnect Julian from the meeting? Team meetings refer to the IRTX Pro 204 task 3 concept development meeting, initial planning meeting, midpoint planning meeting, final planning meeting, status report or reporting to project sponsor, weekly meetings with teacher, outline of final presentation. So add that. Any other communications method that the team identifies as being necessary. Here it's telling you weekly meeting. Again, we changed that. So in your planning, imagine that we have weekly meetings, but we are not doing that because of the tweaking we are doing for this class, and we have students from different cities and towns. So in addition to the online delivery. So if you want me to attend the meetings, I'm more than happy if you are sending me an invitation to attend your meeting remotely on Friday maybe, or something like that, through Zoom or any other platforms, Google Meet or whatsoever. Any other communication method that the team identifies as being necessary, communication plan approval. Okay, we're done with the first assessment. Any questions? I'm trying to answering the questions on the chat. Some of them just funny questions, some of them really good. We only have like 8 weeks for the assignment, so you can have 16 meetings. You can have 24 meetings, anything. If you have 3 meetings every week, online meetings, 3 meetings every week, multiplied by 8, this is 24 meetings. You can have 8 meetings if it's 1 meeting per week. So this is more than enough. Anyone wrote something on the chat? Thank you. Whether it's funny or real, really thank you. I'm happy with your interaction and input here. It's valuable because once it's come to your mind, it's really, really valuable for other participants. And Thank you for sharing that. Even if it's a joke, also it will bring some joy and happiness to our class. Thank you for that. I'll go to the second assessment. So just a moment. So now we are going to discuss assessment task 2. So portfolio of evidence and also marking criteria. So we click. For you, you need to download this document and fill it as we agreed with every other document. So we do the same for everything. This document, it's a bit lengthy, 13 pages before just writing anything. So we'll take step by step so we don't get confused. Student name, number, my name here. Don't worry about this assessment due task, assessment due date, sorry. So just you put the date here when you submit and your signature. So what we are going to do here, so this is the project planning stage of the incident response team exercise. So the objective is to demonstrate the skills and knowledge to develop an effective method of evaluating the effectiveness of an enterprise's incident response and handling, there is L missing here, handling procedures. So again, this is a team assessment, which is great and will be conducted during class. We will do that after class, not during class. So we'll do that after the delivery in your own time. So the team will be required to keep minutes of all team stakeholders and project sponsor meetings, similar to the previous one. For this assessment, you will collect all files, put them in one folder, zip it, create one file, upload. You will upload to Connect. No one sending me anything on emails. Okay. I mean, of course, these files cannot be sent to email as a form of submission. No, you will, yes, same teams for the whole unit. Thank you for this question, Ryan. Yes. So assessment criteria, each team member is required to compose an email to the CSO with CC to other members of the team. So you will create this email, you will send it, you will save as PDF, and you include this PDF file in the folder that you're gonna zip it and submit it. The email is to summarize what role you would like to take on within the team and why you feel that you are suited to the role. Okay, provide a negotiation strategy. An IRT plan is to be evaluated against the following sections from the NIST SP 861 computer security. So this document is one of the documents in the supplementary material or resources. So you will use the NIST document. It's an open source. It's available online from NIST. And as I told you, this is a very, very important document to go through it. Rules of engagement are developed. So what you're going to do, what time we are meeting, when is the deadline for different tasks. IRTX development, red, blue, and purple team playbook developed. So someone now may ask me on the chat, what is the red, blue, and purple team playbook? If you don't remember our discussion or about that, so it's easy. You can go here and ask our friend Google, then you will find here purple team playbook here from ISC Square, some discussions here about the different teams. I'll in brief, The red team is the attackers, blue team is the defenders, and purple is the coordinators. Okay, so here some explanation about that and additional resources. I'm just search Google and you can find different things here, while also in our resources we have lots of documents there. So 3 teams here, red, blue, and purple. In our TAFE campus at Cairns, we have SOC, which is Security Operation Center, and we have simulation there. It's implemented and we are working on improving that, so we can see that attacks in a simulated environment and how to defend that also. So you will observe, or the observer team checklist developed. So the purple team will observe that, and resource development has been performed. Then these instructions for me, don't worry about that. This is what we discussed before. So how to submit and also the marking criteria. Then the scenario IRTX project, scenario PDF, it's under supplementary resources. Then for this task, the team is to define the roles and responsibilities for each member. So you create a table and you put the Security Operations Center Manager, the SOC Manager, Shift Supervisor, Tier 1 Security Analysts. So you can have 2, 3, 4, it depends. Task 1A, each team member is required to compose an email to the CSO. What is the meaning of CSO? This is the Chief Security Officer. Okay, then you see other members of the team. What's written there? Excuse me. Summarize what role you would like to take on within the team and why you feel that you are suited to the role. Part 1A, this email is to confirm objectives of the written communication, formatted and presented in a format suitable for the purpose of the communication. So it's part of the assessment that I will assess the format of the email. Why? Because you need to know about that. You need to know about how we format emails in the working environment. If you know about that already, so it's great. If you don't know, this is the time to learn. Organized logically, so it's structured, balanced according to the purpose and context. Use language appropriate for the purpose and audience. So we don't use hey or hey mate unless we really between team members or something. It's better to use formal format and language. Information is clear, significant and explicit. So clear information, clear and accurate information in brief. Conclusions reached are logically justified and reflect the purpose of the communication. No longer than 1 page. Clear? Clear for everyone? No longer than 1 page. This email, no longer than 1 page. Don't write 10 pages. 2 pages, you fail. Completed and submitted on time. You can use, of course, your personal email. You submit, you send to me or your team leader, or send to me, it's fine. Then save as PDF and include that. Part 1B, as part of the negotiation on role assignment, each team member is to write a brief negotiation strategy plan, participate in the meeting to negotiate your role within the team, document the outcomes of the negotiation making criteria. In part 1P also the details. So the negotiation plan is to answer the following questions. The goal of the negotiation, no more than 50 words. We We are using the same team, so 4 to 6 members, just to remind you. What is the best alternative if the negotiation is unsuccessful? Up to 50 words, up to, so maximum 50. Maximum 50. Identify the negotiation strategy that will be used and why this method, up to 100 words. So win-win, yielding, conceding, inaction. Okay. Some of you may be not aware of these negotiation strategies. Here we come to your research skills improvement. You can research that. You can refer to my records. I have videos created for that, for different units, and it's available, so you can watch my videos or search other resources. So in your negotiation meeting, demonstrate a verbal communication style appropriate to audience and purpose. So this verbal communication could be a speech or a presentation. You will record that, voice recording or video. Negotiation conducted according to strategy identified. What tool to use for the recording? Just use your phone. Outcome of negotiation and the follow-up actions are documented. Okay, so we're done with part 1. Any questions? If you have a question, please put it on the chat. Good. Part 2, evaluate the existing incident response plan. So we evaluate the current one. For right point, the plan is to be evaluated against the following sections from the NIST SP 861 Computer Security Incident Handling Guide. So you will compare the plan to the guide, to the standard from NIST, and you go to these parts. Just a moment. So you compare the current incident response plan with these sections from the standard to know the difference. You are also required to document the potential business impacts of various cyber threats. So the team together will create a document that makes recommendations to management on how the current incident response plan can be improved. So we will improve the plan by adding items from the standard and also check the various cyber threats. Marking criteria, the document is to be no more than 2 pages. The document is to be formatted in the form of memo. If you don't know the form of memo, Google is your friend, or we have templates. To the CSO, Chief Security Officer, a minimum of 5 recommendations. So 5, 6, 7 are to be made. Each recommendation is to be fully described and a justification documented. Minimum of 5 cyber threats identified and potential impact has been documented. Document to be uploaded to connect, similar to everything else. Part 3, develop the incident response team exercise. Any questions here in part 2? Okay. For part 3, the team is to develop the IRTX. So by the end of the part, you will have the IRTX to be implemented, including all resources required. Okay. The following are tasks that are required. The team may include other tasks if required. The parameters of the IRTX are defined. Rules of engagement are developed. You will create 3 playbooks: red team, blue team, and observer team. This playbook is just a document, so it can be 1 page, 2 pages. Range of attacks to be used are defined. Methods of attack outline developed. Red team must include pre-prepared PCAP files in the SIM. Blue team playbook developed, so services the IRT will provide defined. Response handling plan for a range of incidents developed. Incident response reporting communication process developed. Evidence collection and protection process developed. Observer team checklist, evaluate blue team performance against processes developed. Note, I'll be in the observer team. Okay. Resource development. So all playbooks, checklists, procedures have been developed and are ready for deployment, use. Virtual machines are obtained, created, checked, and configured for IRTX requirements. Pre-prepared PCAP file installed. Manual injects have been developed and ready for use. The following planning cycle is to be used, so you will use this one. You will have concept development meeting, so products of the concept development meeting. You will have this meeting, and from that meeting, we are getting draft initial exercise scenario, very high level, so not in details. Then how we will have the meeting, define the exercise objectives. We can have this meeting online, face-to-face, and so forth. Defined outcomes also. Identification of possible required resources. So range, types of network systems, ISO files, virtual machines, and so forth. Assigned action items, completion dates, and points of contact. Initial planning meeting. So what are the products of the IPM, the initial planning meeting? Finalize the exercise objectives, define the exercise scenario, develop the rules of engagement, dates for the follow-on planning sessions and the exercise execution, assigned action items, completion dates, and POCs. Okay. Mid-planning meeting. So the products will be finalized exercise scenarios and senior leader approval briefing, finalize the understanding of the ROE. At this point, the red team, your team, will begin preliminary assessments, research, and network system infiltration after this meeting with assigned ROE. So criteria for the go, no-go decision on execution of exercise, dates for the final planning meeting, assigned action items, completion dates, and POCs. Use that as checklist. Then we will have the final planning meeting. We're still in planning. We are not conducting any attacks yet or defending or whatsoever. Final planning meeting. So the products, finalize the exercise scenario with senior leader approval, finalized ROE signed by appropriate leadership teacher. Red team will continue the assessment and infiltration. You can also check the exercise data. Finalized playbooks for red, blue, and observer teams. So finalized resource plan. So resources arrive at the exercise location. Review of any changes that affect the go, no-go decision on execution of exercise. Assigned action items. completion date, and POCs. Meeting requirements for each meeting. The following is required. Agenda that describe the items to be discussed. Minutes of meeting as per the communication plan. Schedule of chairpersons and minute taker has been developed. It is the responsibility of the chairperson to create the agenda with team member input, distribute the agenda in a timely manner, manage the meeting. It is the responsibility of the minute taker to accurately record attendance, keep accurate recording of action items completed, accurately record the action items to be done, by whom and when to be completed, type up minutes and distribute to team members. Links to meeting resources have been included below at the end of this document. So marking criteria here, agenda has been created that accurately reflect the purpose of the meeting. The meetings were conducted effectively and addressed the objectives and the required outcomes. Minutes of meetings accurately recorded all required actions flowing from decisions reached in the meetings. So persons responsible for implementing actions were notified in writing email to confirm details. So they are notified in writing. We are sending emails here. Follow-up action were required, was taken to ensure that all decisions of meetings had been acted upon. Completed minutes to be signed off by each team member. So we make sure they know. Agenda and minutes of meetings submitted weekly. Rules of engagement, the scope of the systems, targets, methods are clearly defined and documented. Red team playbook consists of, but not limited to, the following elements: list of actual attack methods. So red team follows process, reconnaissance, scanning. Tools could include Nmap, Nisius. So use any of these or the two of them. Gaining access does not need to be successful. 3, real attacks to be prepared. Okay. Please give me your full attention here. We will conduct 3 real attacks. Real attacks means in a virtual environment away from our internet service providers. So it can be virtual environment. You can create a small LAN, just bring a small router. You can use the lab in TIFF campus. So Keynes, Townsville, you can use the lab also. Just coordinate that with the teacher there, because the lab networks are isolated from other networks. We are conducting attacks here, so we must protect ourselves and others, otherwise it could be a crime. Okay, I don't want you to get arrested, and also I don't want myself to get arrested with you. So please make sure you conduct these attacks in a virtual environment or totally isolated environment from internet. So just a small LAN. Anyone can bring their home router and create a small network, and we start the exercise. Or we can use virtual machines, or even we can simulate that on packet tracer. Okay, but I prefer to have that in a virtual environment. So common attacks could be denial of service, brute force password, list of manual injections. 3 manual injections could be scripted. Malware, phishing, virus infection. Injection emails are to be included. Manual injection, timelines, list of tools to be used. For the blue team, playbook consists of, but not limited to, the following elements. So we have the incident handling procedures. The blue team will defend. Abbreviated exercise incident response plan, reporting procedures, evidence collection and protection. So we need to contain at least 5 steps required to collect and protect incident evidence from the exercise. Blank incident response form, network diagrams with a listing of IP addresses, observer team playbook. This is the purple one. So consists of, but not limited to, the following elements: copy of both blue and red teams playbooks, master scenario event list, observation report sheets. Other resources: virtual machines as per the virtual network diagram have been created, configured. Part 4, stakeholder status report teacher meeting. As the communication plan, the team is required to provide a status report to the stakeholder as well as meet with the project teacher. These meetings can be combined as the project teacher is also the project stakeholder. Okay. I got a question. Can we use Raspberry Pi? Yes. You can use anything you want, you can use. We just need to get these results. Each week, your team is required to provide a written project status report to the project stakeholder. This report is to include, but is not limited to, overall project status. By the way, for some questions, each week, so the project duration we have is not 2 months, the maximum time for your assessment. We are imagining here, we are having many virtual things here. So if the project duration is 6 months, we need to simulate that even in one meeting, we meet in one day and we have 3 different meetings. So it doesn't have to be every week means real week, because we only have 8 weeks maximum. 8 weeks maximum to provide that, the assessment. So this is a simulation for many things. So simulate that 1 week passed. So each week, your team is required to provide a written project status report to the project stakeholder. This report is to include, but is not limited to, overall project status, milestone review, actual versus planned, issues and risks. What were the issues for the week and what was the risk impact of these issues on overall status? Timeline, actual versus targeted, and new target. So work accomplished, what tasks were successfully completed, link to a report template has been included below. So the meeting with your teacher is to be an informal meeting to ensure that the team is working together and to provide support if required. This could be an email, could be Zoom, could be some discussion, because we are conducting that remotely. So we have marking criteria here, and format of written report is appropriate. Document is organized logically. Written language is applicable to the communication purpose. Each team member has signed off on the report. Reports were submitted on time. So this is the second assessment task done, explained. Any questions? I don't see many questions on the chat. So we'll go to the third assessment. So Demi will share with us what she did with the team in the assessments last time. Okay, Demi, thank you for your input.
Yes, the assignments, our team, we met both in a group physically as well online here in Cairns. We was able to record the session via Zoom as well as do note taking. And then the first lesson, the first meeting, we did a rough draft of who was going to be responsible for which area, and who was chair, etc. And then we did communication on one area or a few different bits and pieces, a few different communication ways, I should say. We set up a Dropbox so we could put all of our information there as well, besides Discord. And yeah, that's what I remember. So
yeah, so you used like cloud storage, could
yes,
be,
cloud
yeah,
storage.
could be Dropbox, could be Google Drive,
Google Drive,
OneDrive, iCloud,
OneDrive, yes, iCloud,
anything
yeah.
to store all the documents and share it between the team member,
Yes.
which is really a great thing. What about the attacks themselves? How you conducted the attacks? As red team, blue team?
What we did, we did a scenario where we just wrote it down, because we didn't do the because most of us had the virtual machine. One of us did a basic
attack scenario.
Yeah, attack scenario, and then
So
we used
you
that as a
mainly
base.
used virtual machines?
Yes, we mainly use virtual machines. Yes.
Okay. Have you used the network in Cairns and the lab or the student network?
No, we just used
your own network.
our own network at the time, because we didn't know about the lab at the time. So,
okay, but you used your own network.
Yes, we used our own networks. Yes.
Yeah, which is isolated from internet, definitely.
Yes, we used some people used VirtualBox, and then other people used the
VMware.
Yes, VMware.
Okay. Have you used like small router, not the virtual one, the physical one, and created like a small LAN, or you heard about other teams that did so? Because I heard about other teams they did that.
Yes,
So
I believe other teams did the virtual LAN. Sorry, the router.
yeah.
My team didn't, so
Okay.
we didn't.
Okay.
So,
good. What was the biggest challenge you had?
The biggest challenge was trying to do the attack, trying to do the blue team, red team, and purple team without actually doing a lab, having a physical lab, but also trying to get everyone to have group meetings all at one time as well. That was one of the other challenges as well.
Yeah. I just we needed your input here as one of the brilliant students. To be honest, the virtual or the virtual machines, it's considered physical somehow nowadays with the all companies, they use cloud technologies and virtual machines from different providers, bearing in mind that it's working same way as a computer. The other challenges I heard from other students also, the commitment from team members. So you were lucky, Demi, that you didn't really face that, but other teams, they were, some members were lacking on their commitment or appearing on time or finish tasks on time. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight this point because some of you or some of the current students, they might face that and start complaining about their colleagues. So this is normal. It happens in real life, in big projects. Even the project manager himself or herself, sometimes they pass away, they disappear, they leave the company, they have some personal issues, and so forth. So we all face that. We are a human being, so we need to be ready, and being ready with plan B, contingency planning. That's why I was telling you to, for the key roles, you need to have 2 people doing the job. So we have leader and assistant leader in every major task we need to do. Yeah, anything else, Demi, you want to share?
What we also did, we tried with our team, because it was a fairly small team at the time, in case one of us did happen to, as you said, be away or something happened, one of us did back up someone else. Good. So there was someone there who knew what the other person was doing, just in case something did like that happen. So yeah, I know not everyone can do that. I understand that. So yeah.
That's good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Demi, for your input and explanation. Really appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope it helps everyone.
Of course, of course. And we will maybe ask you further questions on Discord.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, no problem. That's good. Thank you. I have some questions on the chat. You can use switch, real switch. You can use virtual switch. You can use mixture between them. Yes, you can use VLANs within the switch. So you can use Raspberry, yes, RPI, Raspberry Pi, fine, no problem at all. So yeah, thank you. Now let me go to assessment task 3. So assessment task 3, again, like every other assessment, you will download the document, fill everything. Then here, this is the project implementation stage of the incident response team exercise. The objective of this assessment is to demonstrate skills and knowledge to develop an effective method of evaluating the effectiveness of an enterprise. A bit confusing wording here, but just a method, good method to evaluate the performance of the team for the incident response team and handling procedures. Okay. The difference between procedure and process, the procedure is detailed process. Process means step-by-step actions. Okay. Also, this is a team assessment and will be conducted during or after class. So the team required to keep minutes minutes of meeting of everything, put everything in one folder, zip it, and submit. Criteria here: acting, responding professionally during blue, red, purple team briefing. End-to-end functionality of the virtual network has been verified. So you notice here the assessment encourage virtual networking. Red team uses attacks, intrusions as specified in red team playbook. So you can create virtual network on VMware or VirtualBox or something similar. Red team uses, just a moment, end-to-end functionality of the virtual network has been verified. Yes, red team uses attacks, intrusions as specified in red team playbook that we created in the previous assessment. Blue team defends attacks, intrusions as specified in blue team playbook. Set up and configure virtual network as per the IRTX plan. Observer team monitors blue team response handling and performance according to the observer's checklist. So this part is for me, don't worry about that. Submission similar to all other assessments through Connect, and we are getting few more details. So part 1, team briefings. So this task is to be conducted in the first session at least 1 week prior to the IRTX attacks. Again, simulate that. The purpose, you don't have to wait 1 week. The purpose of this task is to create team matchups, refer to grade below for suggestion, exchange blue team playbooks and rules of engagement, question and answers. The marking criteria here: team response in a professional manner to questions and suggestions during team briefing. More details to come. Part 2, IRTX week. Here we will do the following. This task is about setting up and conducting the IRTX. So set up and configure virtual network as per the IRTX plan. Red team begins attacks as per the red team playbook. So this should start at least 1 hour before blue team arrives. If possible, the red team could start the attack sequence up to a week before the exercise of all requirements. Virtual machines, etc. have been met. Blue team begins analysis of logs data to determine if incident has occurred. The observer team can begin to inject manual incidents. Blue team follows process as per the IRP outlined in the blue team playbook. Observer team monitors blue team response handling and performance according to the observer's checklist. The marking criteria here, end-to-end functionality of the virtual network has been verified. So please give me your attention here. The network or the virtual network is working fine. So it's functional, up and running. So we need screenshots of Bing results to be included in the final submission. So we need to see that. So here we need to make sure the virtual machines, virtual networks are working, not the attack is successful. Okay. Red team's attack as specified in red team playbook. Attacks do not need to be successful. Blue team using the blue team playbook. So identifies that reconnaissance and the scanning has taken place. Follows the IRP for handling this event. So the attack is just reconnaissance and scanning. You don't go for other steps because mainly here we needed some cybersecurity, but also we needed project management. So we are mixing between meeting minutes, emails, reporting with some skills in cybersecurity. So follows the IRP for handling this event, follows IRP for events, incidents manually injected by observer team. Yeah, observer team checklist is used to note items such as how event incident was responded to in accordance to IRP, time taken for incident event to be reported. So cyber analyst, SOC shift supervisor, SOC manager, what was reported, communication effectiveness. So we have some sessions here. We rotate the sessions and different playbooks. So any questions here? This is the assessment task 3, where we conduct the attacks. Each assessment, as per TIF rules and regulations, has 2 attempts. If you didn't pass the first attempt, you have the second attempt. So you have 2 chances. If you didn't pass the second one, you can get a third chance by contacting training manager. Okay. So assessment task 4, and it's again portfolio of evidence with the marking criteria. So what we need to do here, as usual, you will download the document, fill details, and this part is the project reporting. So here, as usual, you will keep everything documented in one folder, zip, and submit. Review the team performance against the objective of developing an incident response team exercise. Validate the team objectives against the project targets. Proposes changes, improvements to the project development process. Review of effectiveness of incident event identification strategy. IRTX evaluation report. Presentation material was appropriate for purpose. Team members answered questions in an appropriate manner. Presentation duration was 15 minutes. Presentation was structured and organized. So we'll go into details. This part for the assessor, and here you submit as usual. Scenario, then part 1 and 2 sections there. So this is a report that is in 2 sections. So team performance, and reviews the team performance against the objectives of developing an incident response team exercise. Validate the team objectives. Proposes changes, improvements to the project development process. Recognize the achievements of individual team members. Section 2 will be project management closure. So this section contains the following: project timeframes, scope, quality expectations are evaluated against actual. Project risk strategy is reviewed and the improvements recommended. Final project sign-off is obtained. So marking criteria here. Format and presentation of report is consistent with the other reports. Reviews performance against a minimum of 3 objectives. Validates a minimum of 3 targets. Proposes a minimum of 3 changes, improvements. Maybe we don't use VMware, we use VirtualBox, we need antivirus, we need to disable firewall, something. Shows the difference between when tasks were planned to be completed against when they were actually completed using a graph or other visualization. So outline the minimum of 3 improvements for risk mitigation strategy improvements. We disconnected from internet, for example. A project sign-off checklist for the project sponsor, teacher to sign. In the risk mitigation contingency, we added some extra time. We assigned the tasks to more than one person and so forth. Part 2, evaluate the IRTX. So here you will evaluate the effectiveness of this exercise, and this will require all teams to meet and discuss the IRTX. So each team is to host a roundtable discussion with the other teams involved in the RTX. You can do that over Discord. This discussion is to cover the following topic, or Zoom or whatsoever. What improvements can be made to the incident response plan? How well did the blue team strategy work in identifying events incidents? By the way, you can meet physically also. What we mean by teams here: blue team, red team, and purple team, not the 60 students. Okay. So you have a team consisting of 6 people. So 2 in red team, 2 in blue, and 2 in purple. Okay, then this is what they mean by all teams will meet. So effectiveness of using the IRTX as a method of evaluating and testing the IRP. How well did the blue team strategy work in identifying events incidents? How effective was the communication between the cyber analyst and SOC shift supervisor? How effective was the communication between the SOC shift supervisor and the SOC manager? Any other feedback to improve the IRTX? From these discussions, each team is to write an exercise closure report using the feedback from the roundtable discussion on your team's IRTX marking criteria. Report is not to be more than 5 pages, less than 5 pages, or 5 pages maximum. Report is to have the following headings. So overview, provide a brief overview of the purpose of the exercise and a summary of results. Review of effectiveness of incident event identification strategy. Blue team strategy is outlined. Incident event identification results summarized. Effectiveness of strategy reviewed. Review is to be consistent with observer team report. Review of effectiveness of communications between team roles. The review of the communications between blue team members during the exercise is summarized. Review to be consistent with observer team report. Lessons learned. What went right, what went wrong. So what went right, minimum of 3 actions that the team did right in the context of the exercise. What went wrong, minimum of 3 issues, problems, or actions that did not go as planned. Then we recommend some improvements. Minimum of 3 recommendations to improve the effectiveness of the IRTX are listed and described. Maybe better communication tools and so forth. Appendix, observer team report. So the purple team. All team members have input into the report. Contribution of each team member is referenced in the appendix. Makes sense? So in part 3, prepare presentation. So the team is to prepare the presentation, outlines the lesson learned and experiences gained from developing and implementing the project plan. The presentation is to be a team presentation and is to contain the following sections: welcome and explanation of goals, objectives of the presentation. Why are we here? Number 2, overview of the project plan. 3, lesson learned, each team member to present their own. Summary of what the team learned and what they felt they could improve on. Final wrap up and thank you. So the team is to prepare and submit a presentation plan that identifies the audience and clarifies the purpose of the presentation, outlines the structure and sequence of the presentation, identifies the media sources such as images, graphs, videos, as well as presentation templates to be used. The presentation plan is to be no more than 2 pages. Presentation is to be no more than 15 minutes in length for the whole team. Each team member is to present their own lesson learned section plus at least one other section of the presentation. Each team member used the same template slide structure format, provides a brief overview of the project. Each team member to outline 2 good experiences and 2 non-favorable experiences. Each team member to present 2 lessons learned from the project. Task 4, presentation. So for this task, the team members are to present the presentation as prepared. Marking criteria here, each team member presented lessons learned and 1 other section. Presenter used appropriate language. Presentation material was appropriate for purpose. Team members answered the questions in an appropriate manner, if there are any. Presentation duration was 15 minutes. Presentation was structured and organized, sorry. So you will, as a team, you will prepare presentation and deliver that. Inside of the video, you record the video using mobiles, then you submit. Each team member will submit, okay, in their section of Connect, so I can have multiple evidence. So each team member, it's really a good idea if each one record using their phone or camera to record the video, so we can have the recording from different points of views. If any disaster happened to any recording, we have the other recording. Then after that, you all submit in your Connect part from your account. Okay, so you submit the presentations and I'll do the marking from my side. I hope this clarifies everything. We reached the end of assessment task 4, and please feel free to watch this video, go through the documentation. If you have a question, you can email me as usual or discuss on Discord. I don't see any questions. Actually, we didn't answer on the chat. We have answered everything. Is there any questions for me? Any question?
Hey, Sam, Alan Watson here. Mate, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I did show.
So here in the supplementary resources, we have the NIST documentation and some other documentation also. We have the PDF documents for project management concepts. Then you scroll and you will find the IRTX scenario. So when you click, it will open this document. It's consists of 8 pages, and we have the incident. There is missing I here. Incident response team exercise. So company called DrivePoint, and you have the scenario, then objectives of the IRTX, then you go down and you will find the virtual network scenario. Then this is the security onion, Splunk here, Blue Team workstation, vulnerable Linux here. You have the firewall BFSense, and you have the red team workstation Kali. So how the network is configured, telling you also what each team have. So what each team has. So here, this is the IRTX outline of tasks. So this is the document you will use in addition to having some useful resources here and links. Okay. So it's really good idea to go to here. You can download the updated ISO for the BF sense and documentation. You can find also on YouTube different videos if this link is not working. Security Onion also downloading from here, and other solutions like the SIM solution, open source SIM. So we have that here. So you can download and play with this document. So this part is really important.